Hi there, and welcome to Your Wee Gems. And this is the 12 days of Christmas, and it is day number 7. So, today, number 7 is about letting go and also being peaceful because we become peaceful when we let go. We, when we hold on to things, when we ruminate and constantly think about something that's just happened that we didn't like, and it keeps going round and keeps going round, we are not letting go. So the whole point of letting go is to release you. The thing is, a lot of people make this to be, I'm not going to let go of this because they deserve to suffer for this, but in actual fact they couldn't give a rat's arse basically for whatever's going on in your head, your being, right? So the usual reasons that we have is because of our ego, and this is back to the leading me ladder of leadership that I'm going to keep coming back to time and time again, because as far as what is happening with this ladder, when we are belittling ourselves or others, or we are bigging it up, then we are allowing the ego to rule us. This is the ego situation. So we're in control and judgment, or we're in blame and victim when we're belittling. So usually what happens is we start this side of things and then we end up that side of things, or we start that side of things and we end up this side of things. And the reason for that is because we live in a world of polarity. So we have two poles in the earth. We are yin yang, masculine, feminine within each body, regardless of, what sex you were born as. We have those, both the masculine and the feminine within. Some women are more masculine than men. That's why you'll find a lot of people who really don't want to be defined, because we're both, right? We have both within us, but we will take on whatever is more. So we live in a world of polarity as it is. And the problem is, if we take one stance, then, and particularly when it comes to the ego, we take one stance here, then we have to go to this side. Okay, so this might look like somebody, the person who's bigging it up, may look like they are actually in control, when in actual fact they're not. They end up here at some point, usually belittling themselves. Okay, and vice versa. And there is not one of us who haven't been through this. The best place for us to be is in this middle ground, being responsible and being balanced. And when it comes to us being balanced, when we let go, we become balanced. When we're hanging on to things, that's when we're out in these, allowing the ego to master me, is when I'm out here, judging and, blaming and controlling and belittling, excuse me, and, that victimhood. All of this is mental health issues. Right? We don't even realize that we're responsible for our own mental health completely, and also we can make it really easy for ourselves. And I know as one that has suffered. So, but when it comes to the ego controlling me, that's when mental issues really come in. When I'm in the center ground, this leading me ground, funny enough, it makes it a lot easier for me. Okay, and when I let go, this is where I go to. So we think by hanging on and ruminating and whatnot, all that's doing is causing me angst and my body dis-ease. I am dis-eased by what has gone on. If I then allow it to go and let it go, then I come into this middle ground and I feel far better and far happier. So what are we looking to do and to let go and to be? The biggest thing for most people, to be honest, although we sometimes don't identify this, is fear. And yes, that is a fearful looking doll for a reason. We are fearful of so many things because we're not willing to live in that center ground of leading me. And it's why we try to get control and judge people and, belittle others, belittle ourselves, feel victim of, oh, poor me, I can't believe it. They've done this and that's not easy for me. This is all mainly based in fear. And the fear isn't something necessarily that you go, oh, I'm afraid of that. It's not necessarily afraid of. It's a fear of not doing, of not being. It's afraid of doing. It's afraid of, putting myself out there. It's afraid of all sorts of things. So don't just see it as a fear of horror movie fear, right? Because it's anything but that. So we get fearful of things and then ruminate over it, and that doesn't help us in the slightest. But one of the big things that we do when we are in fear is that we actually start judgment, right? And we judge things around us. And the reason we're doing that is because of the fear. The fear of what they've said is true, the fear of what is there. And the thing is, it's usually something we don't really want to look at and accept. We may say we're accepting it, but in actual fact, the judgment hurts. Because it's not the judgment that they're having. There's a very good part here, which is all about the ego here is all about reflection, right? So all it is people are usually, when we're doing this part, they are just showing us a reflection of ourselves and we don't like it. So then we begin to judge other people. So all we're doing is reflecting that behaviour. Okay. So just think about anything that you've done of late that you've been judging others on, and think to yourself, where is that coming from? Is that actually, I can guarantee it'll be coming from a reflection, what we call mirroring. So people mirror some things mirror things that we do like, but they also mirror things we don't want to look at. Okay, and the ego's good at hiding behind judgment and control and blame, etc. when it comes to that, that ego. The other section of this, to be honest, can be guilt. Okay, when we feel guilty over things, and then we feel guilty about what we've judged, and we feel guilty over all sorts of weird and wonderfuls. Again, guys, the whole thing about judgment and everything else is, if we're judging, we're here, but we'll end up here, right? We're going to end up on this side. This down here, if you're wondering, these are tools that I teach that get you back into the centre ground. But unless you're aware of these, you can't get yourself back into it. And unless you've got tools to get yourself back into it, it's really difficult. And we can stay and ruminating all the time. So what today is all about is you giving yourself the opportunity to let go. And to let go, we have to actually look at, what is it that person reflected back to me? What is it that I am afraid of? And if I am afraid of it, what's all that about? Because it'll be something deeper. So don't go out the way, because that's the blame, the judgment, the control, etc. It's all out that way. We have to come in the way. That's why we call it leading me, right? It's not there, as that sounds really good. It was because I realised that without me going inside, doing the work in here for me, and it doesn't have to be difficult work, that's the other thing, make it be fun work. But if I don't look at things, then my life is going to be all upside down and my ego is going to rule me big time. So if I can actually look and see, what is it that I am actually trying to ignore? What is it that I don't want to see or don't want to acknowledge? Because that's what's causing me angst. Once I am able to recognise what that is, now I can do something about it. And usually what we can do about it is actually release the emotion that is in there. All emotions ever want is released. That's what is meant by just let it go, Mags. It means that negative emotion you're hanging on to, get it out. And I don't mean at the person. You can sit and you can write, journal on it, but say how you really feel and get it out there. Okay? Once you do that, you start releasing it and making life happy. And then once that happens, you can be in being in peace. And I mean in peace. Being in peace. Okay? So being in peace. That's what will make it a much nicer season of festivities and fun and laughter. Because when we don't hold ourselves in here and we hold ourselves out in this ego situation where the ego is mastering me, then that will make it far more difficult for you to have a peaceful and letting go season. So, whatever somebody's doing to bug you, look and see what it is about them that bugs you, and then look straight back at me and see where in my life am I doing exactly that behaviour, because that's what I'm really pissed off at. All they're doing is reflecting that behaviour at me. Okay, so today all about letting go and being peaceful. I can't do anything about that. No one else can do anything about that. Only you can do something about that. So, as always in Leading Me, we have to do the work for ourselves to let ourselves live in peace and harmony, to be happy and smile, to focus on the happiness that's there. If we're not doing things to bring that to us, then you can't expect it to come, because only I can do something about that. So, as always, I'll be back tomorrow with day number 8 on the 12 days of Christmas. If you like what you're hearing and you want to subscribe, give me a love heart, a thumbs up, whatever emoji you would like to throw in there at me. If you would like to add a comment, I love reading comments. I love people interacting and let me know what is happening in their life right now. And if I can help you in any way, just ask. I'm quite happy. Even if you need to DM me, then please do so. You can find me on social medias everywhere, and also you can go to magsbell.com and send me a message from there. But yeah, let me know how you're doing, and we can have a chat. But I thank everybody who has been coming on and sharing and basically making it much easier for me when I'm doing these, is that I'm having interaction. I love having interaction with people. So comments below, let me know what you're thinking, and let me know if I can help you in any way. As always, from me for now, stay true, stay you, and keep bringing out your brilliance. Take care. Bye for now.